ChannelAdvisor is a multi-channel commerce platform that helps brands and retailers streamline their e-commerce operations. Bradley Hearn is a product marketing manager at ChannelAdvisor, and he's just delivered a webinar around the consumer journey and how brands can successfully manage their entire experience from first click to last mile.
The common line you hear is that the pandemic wasn't really an agent of change, it was an accelerant, and that's true. We've seen consumer behavior evolving for years, and what the pandemic did, forcing everybody online, was just really kicking those behavior patterns up a notch. Things are kind of returning to normal now in e-commerce, at least, so we can look back and kind of see that consumer behavior sort of jumped ahead 2 or 3 years. What we found 2 years into the pandemic: 1, the pandemic forced more shoppers online. 2, shoppers had grown more confident shopping online, and 3, as a result, they purchased things they never had before. Looking into the future, this behavior is looking strong. 42% of global consumers actually say they're going to shop online in the future more than they did before the pandemic. So on one hand, you have that going on. The evolving consumer behavior is obviously just one part of it. And at the same time, on the other side of the coin is the industry. And that was an industry that's constantly changing, technology that's evolving, channels that are growing. And in some ways, these industry changes are a response to this changing consumer behavior, but in other ways, it's actually driving new demands and behavior in these consumers. So that's kind of like a chicken or egg question: which came first, which is driving which? And the answer is really they're sort of fueling each other and just propelling this industry forward. There are a lot of things going on right now in e-commerce. The 4 big trends that we're watching right now, they're having a big impact on the brands and retailers that we work with, are 1, marketplace growth, both the size of the marketplaces and just how many of them are popping up and proliferating across the globe. 2, the rise of retail media. And this is going to be a year when you see many of these marketplaces and retail sites launch their own advertising programs, similar to Amazon, and brands are going to have to pay if they want more visibility on these sites. 3 is checkout is becoming just a click from almost anywhere. Everything is becoming shoppable, like ad campaigns, social channels. Seamless checkout is just a click or 2 away. And then 4, the expansion of delivery options. So not only are the demands for faster delivery increasing, the demands for more shipping options is also on the rise. In a perfect scenario, with unlimited resources and time, you'd list your products on every single channel, optimize your content, invest in advanced advertising and campaigns, and create a perfect buying experience across every single one of those. But as everyone knows, it's impossible to manage your inventory and optimize your products on every single channel. So we think that one effective way to think about it is not to get overwhelmed thinking about optimization for this channel and that channel. Sellers should restructure their thinking not by channel, but around consumer, and more specifically, that consumer's buying intent, like the traditional consumer journey. The actual digital journeys of consumers are increasingly complicated, as everyone knows. They're digital touch points. They're all over the place. They're here, they're there, they're sometimes short, sometimes long. Everyone's is different, but our buying journey, or rather like the psychological journey that we go on, is all the same. Every one of us, no matter what the product is, the industry, the method of how we buy it. And it could take 30 seconds or 6 months, but we all move along that same linear consumer journey from awareness through conversion and loyalty. It's like how they say we all experience the same 5 stages of grief. Some process them slower, some faster. It's kind of like that, but we're all moving through the exact same psychological journey when it comes to buying something. So I think that brands and retailers could do is to stop and think and ask yourself questions like, what makes my customer aware of my product? What makes my customer consider my product? What are they considering? What makes them motivated to then convert? What turns that buyer into a loyal customer? Those kind of probing questions along the buying journey can really reveal a ton of strategies. First, there's the low-hanging fruit. First, make sure your product content or your product catalog is complete, clean, accurate. That is the very foundation of your whole e-commerce operation. That product data allows you to sell across multiple channels in the proper formats, so you don't have errors. Your products and your listings look good. Make sure your competitive pricing is good. Make sure you have advanced repricing strategy on these channels, because more people are selling online now. It's getting more competitive, and you need to be able to stand out. It's not enough just sort of list your products and walk away. Third, make sure you can deliver on the shipping promises that you've made. Consumers are getting more demanding And so whether you're handling the fulfillment yourself, or you're drop shipping, or you're letting a marketplace handle it for you, make sure you can fulfill your promises and be transparent when you can't. But in addition to sort of the low-hanging fruit, at a more fundamental level, when approaching the complicated and fragmented landscape of e-commerce, I mean, the first steps a brand or retailer should be taking is to figure out their business goals. And that sounds obvious, but it's the same way that you would do it in the offline world. Like, what are you after with your specific industry and your products? Like, are you trying to maximize profit? Are you trying to focus on volume? Are you trying to spread your products across as many geographies as possible? Are you trying to go all in on just a specific couple countries that might resonate with your products? What are your advertising goals? Is it more about brand awareness, or is it about really creating conversions? Do you own your category? Are you the only product there? Are you really kind of a unique product, or do you fight tooth and nail with a lot of competitors with similar products? All those things inform different kind of strategies, and asking these types of questions can then help you map out a strategic approach to online selling and really get a better picture of who your customer is and what their journey is like, which then leads to more and better strategies.
If you enjoyed that, you can head over to ChannelAdvisor.com to watch the full webinar on demand and learn more about what ChannelAdvisor can do for your e-commerce business.